At number 47, we have Lev Polugaevsky, born in 1934 in Mogilev in the Soviet Union. He dies in 1995, age 60, in Paris, France. Peter, in many ways, a very, very similar career to the man we just covered, Lajos Portish. Where do you see Lev Polugaevsky?
I see him as the exact same spot as Portish, someone who has been in the top of the chess world for a really long time, and while not making it to the exact top, was influential as a player with many successes. If we look at the World Championships, he was 4 times a candidate, and 2 times he actually reached the semifinals where he lost to Korchnoi. So, well, he was decently close and was always in the mix of sort of getting, a possibility of a World Championship match, but never fully made it to the actual top there. If you look at world rankings, he was number 4 in the world for a brief period. But like with Portish, it's his durability that we really sort of appreciate and impresses us. If you look at the 20 years averages, he's actually the number 13 in the world, which basically means, I think, ahead of Portish, there is only complete giants, basically. Sorry, ahead of Polugaevsky, I keep mixing them up. There's only giants. I mean, and he's just a very strong player who managed to stay close to the top for a really longer time and still managed to manifestate himself as a candidate in the World Championships. I mean, he's won a lot of tournaments. I guess maybe very noteworthy is that he, played the Olympiad 7 times, 6 times the Soviet Union won, but especially his 4 individual medals is worth noting. Of course, he played one of the lower boards, but in these days, like nowadays, when you win a medal at the Olympiad, it most often goes to the top team because it's done by performance rating. In these days, he was just done on score. So he really needed to make a very high score to win these medals. And he managed that 4 out of 6 times, which is an incredible performance, basically. So no, he's a great team player. He's very strong. He gets the job done. But he doesn't seem to have, maybe the clutch moments that he gets him to the exact top. And I think also we debated, it doesn't seem to be his style in that sense. He's more like an academic than a competitor, right?
Yeah, it's another case very similar to Portish, where we think of him maybe mainly as a researcher, theoretician, of course, a very well-rounded chess player in all aspects. But he's, once again, the other extreme is Larsen trying to optimize his EV in every single game. Polugaevsky, I believe, likes to work on his openings and play these openings and uphold what he believes in there, and his contribution as a researcher to all kinds, Sicilian, but also for white in 1d4. He was a very, very relevant guy. It's been tremendous footprint.
Yeah. I mean, he made the book. I forgot what is the name. The Sicilian Labyrinth, maybe, or maybe
that's what we call it in German. I'm not sure.
Maybe from the laboratory of the Grandmaster, something like this. He's describing his work, ethics towards creating this Polugaevsky variation and such, and sort of studying the ins and out of it for half a year, maybe preparing for a candidates match for Tal, even if I remember, and such. And he was creating amazing concepts. We will see another one in the game we have chosen here, but it's more the academic side and also writing about it and such that I think really has impressed and made a legacy. But because of these things, like with Nimzowitsch, people tend to forget how strong a player he actually was. And I think, he was really impressive. You see a lot of games and you see this stability staying in the world elite for such a long time that I think, not having Polugaevsky in the Hall of Fame seems wrong.
Yep, agreed. Let's have a look at one of his games, which shows what a tremendous theoretician, researcher he was. He's white against Eugenio Torre. This is a game from 1981. And the players are debating the infamous Botvinnik variation of the Semislav. All these moves are well known. I'll tell you when it gets exciting. It's here, knight to b6, which at that time I'm assuming was not considered to be a bad move. Nowadays we know it is, but it is because of this concept that Polugaevsky, this obviously is before computers, shows us in this game.
Yeah, it's impressive, right? He sacrifices the whole rook actually now for, well, obvious structural compensation, but still, it's an impressive concept. I think, not seen before. So this is the kind of critical position, or maybe the position happens in 1 or 2 moves, right? But at this point, he's a full rook down, which is worth nothing, right?
Yeah, he's threatening knight takes b5, so black has to play a6 to cover that pawn. And the star move, the move that impressed me as a kid when I saw this the first time, is here. He does not take this bishop. But he's saying, you know what? I worry about nothing. I will go h4 and I will lock your rook out of the game with my pawn structure. It turns out that white is just much, much better here.
I remember as a kid actually reading his book and looking at this and having difficulty believing it. I mean, let's make the move bishop h6 now. f4, bishop takes g5, f takes g5. Simply, look at the structure. The point is, the rook on h8 is trapped. It's just not getting out. And while you cannot win it, you will do damage with rook d6, but you can just play it slowly. But it's simply this idea that this checkers-like looking pawn structure simply cuts the position in half. Well, there's nothing positive the rook can do, and you cannot bring the king to the other side and connect it. So basically, it's a very impressive piece of homework and chess understanding.
Yeah, very clearly, this is done at home. This was not over-the-board inspiration. Now we get this type of position. Portisch fights back by sacrificing his knight.
Torre, sorry.
Sorry. Torre. But it turns out that white
comes the technical phase, but white is just winning and such.
Okay, I don't think we need the rest in great detail. Portisch converts also. Okay, strong tech. Oh, come on, give me a break. Polugaevsky converts also a very strong technical player. They are very similar.
They are simply very similar. I think when we debated, I mean, it was not like we wanted one or the other. It was either both or none of them. And I think we decided that they clearly both belongs in the Hall of Fame. They are having still, of course, high numbers in the top, the lower part, you can argue, in the pyramid, but still not having them there just feels wrong.
Yeah, and if you want to differentiate, then I believe Polugaevsky left a slightly bigger footprint because of his writing and because he got his name on a cool opening. Other than that, very, very similar careers. Top player.
My choice was simply to look at statistics. Of a 20 years average, Polugaevsky was 13, Portisch was 14. So, well, you could also flip a coin, but I think, we chose to decide it like this. But we think basically they are almost like twins in many ways, and they both have earned their spot in the Hall of Fame.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for watching, and see you in the next one.